Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of Shameless on Showtime, which is episode 3 of season 8 called God Bless Her Rotting Soul. So, this episode of Shameless was fantastic. Shameless has been one of the best shows I've been watching for a long time now, ever since I got caught up, a year or two ago. It's definitely one of the most consistent shows I've ever seen. It's an excellent dramedy. Has great dark and black humor to it, but, we've gotten so invested in the Gallaghers over the years. It's just a really nice mix, and this episode was a pretty prime example of that. There's a lot going on, with, the younger Gallaghers, trying to figure out what they're going to do about the drug dealer that's coming after them over what Monica had previously dealt with, and she is still alive, quite a few years ago, and with Carl selling the meth and everything, that sort of triggered some unwanted attention. So I forget the guy's name for some reason, but he's someone who Monica used to see for a little bit, and he's he's kind of a psychopath. His record has to do with killing people, or trying to kill someone with a spoon and taking out a guy's eye with a spoon or something, I think. So that made for a more dangerous situation than I, expected, I guess. But I think you sort of need that real factor to a show that has characters dealing with these types of things once in a while. Meanwhile, you have William H. Macy, Frank, who prefers to be called, Saint Francis, Father, or things like that. William H. Macy, again, doing a really good job. I was really surprised, by the way, Frank actually stepped up at the end of the episode, though, but we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. And, of course, meanwhile, Fiona, she's still trying to fix up, the apartment room and, trying to sell it, but her, I think Vanessa is Vanessa the girl she's been chatting with a lot? The one that seems to sort of have a thing for her. But yeah, anyway, her girlfriend, is trying to sabotage Fiona selling the room, or renting out the room, probably because she's jealous towards her girlfriend's interest in Fiona. And, when Fiona has to clean up the baby shit, hopefully baby shit, that the tenant who literally ran out on her left behind, and the writing on the wall and everything, she does whatever she can to just fuck it up even worse for Fiona. And Fiona takes one of my favorite grandstands for herself in a while at the end of the episode. Again, something we'll talk about in a couple minutes. But before we get more into the last bit of the episode, we should also talk about Lip and Professor Youens. I've always liked their dynamic in the show. I think, along with Frank, Youens is like a great mirror image to Lip, or a parallel towards Lip, potential way he could be or go in the future, I guess. The actor playing Youens does a really nice job, too. Except Youens, this time, he actually falls off the rails again, runs his car through a house, which is, sort of funny, I guess. But I was saying that actually sort of got to me. It affected me emotionally when Lip goes to see him, and he's laid out on the floor, with the drinks and everything. Just great acting from Jeremy Allen White, and again the guy who plays Youens. Sorry, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I like that Lip ended up bringing his I'll call anonymous group at the end of the episode, and the guy who's been helping him. So I like that. That is actually pretty touching, and I hope they're able to help him, with hearing all their stories, but we'll see. He's like a second father figure to Lip, so I do kind of like that. And like I said, with the drug dealer guy, I was kind of, worried about some of the Gallaghers. I didn't think they were going to kill any of them off right now or anything, but still is different but fitting for him to be in a actually dangerous situation like this. Carl is even getting his head dunked in the hot tub and everything, and they're not wanting to tell Fiona right away because she told him not to try and sell all this because something is going to backfire and get him into an even worse situation, and she was right. And, I had my issues with Fiona last season a little, but I still can't deny that Emmy Rossum, she does an awesome job as Fiona. But, she still probably is my favorite character on the show, with Lip being a pretty close second. So I actually like how she had them all lined up in the apartment room, and she made them go down the line saying, "You're right and I was wrong, Fiona," basically. As Deb said, "You're fucking right and we are fucking wrong, Fiona." Meanwhile, Neil, he also left Deb, so there's that. Finally realizing the way she was using him and everything, and really taking a stand against that. But again, I liked Fiona, and she stuck it to him there. It didn't annoy me. I was definitely on Fiona's side there, so I enjoyed that. Surprisingly, Ian was one who seemed to have the most trouble saying it, but Carl, he didn't think he did anything wrong, just didn't go his way, but. Yeah, Carl, I thought he was really an upstanding guy last season, but now he's sort of becoming more Gallagher-like again, so, I shouldn't be surprised, I guess. So they end up digging up, Monica's grave, the casket. Carl brings, a construction vehicle, and they get the casket out, but of course it drops, it opens, and her body comes out a little bit. We don't actually see the actress, but we see the blonde a little bit in her feet and everything. And of course she smells awful. And I laughed. It was pretty funny in a dark way. And if Fiona had hid her portion of the meth, or left her portion of the meth under Monica's body, which still fit, especially if she didn't want to use it for what it was. Due to what it was, I mean. So that was good. And then when they actually go to give over the money, they did scramble together along with the leftover meth from the casket. They're just all, completely dirtied up and just they look kind of screwed up, We've seen this scene of them all walking together in the Season 8 trailer, and I just thought it was really cool, leading the charge like that again. And, them talking to the guy in the, the storage unit and everything. But what I didn't expect was the way, Frank stood up to him. I wasn't surprised that he tried to use his new St. Francis trickery. Eric, is it? And this way he talks and everything. It's really funny, but then he says, if you ever threaten my family again, I'll bury you with her. And he said it in a pretty serious way, and he kind of had that serious William H. Macy crazy stare, looking at the guy. So that was actually a surprisingly badass moment from St. Francis, I guess. But I liked it a lot. This is a great episode. Shameless has always been very good. Season 7 wasn't my favorite, but this episode I think is putting Season 8 above that at the very least. I still like Season 7. Don't get me wrong. Svetlana was also released. V had worked out a deal with her, to handle some of their money issues and everything. Although being watched by her and her trying to learn and everything from Svetlana. And before I forget, Bart. I think we found Bart. Kev actually finding his parents. It seems like they left him at a gas station when he was 2, or forgot him most likely. In just some fucked up way, and they left him there without realizing it, most likely, because they're such idiots. We found out that they're likely inbred, and they sound like stereotypical sort of like hillbillies on the phone. But I think it should be a fun dynamic meeting Kev's parents. I never really thought about it for some reason. That was fun. So Kev is actually Bart, apparently. But yeah, great episode. I'm giving it at least a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was that good. Maybe even like a 9.6, 9.7, but really, really entertaining episode with some really nice character moments too. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.